Have you ever felt ready to tackle a big project, only to find yourself putting it off until the last minute? Maybe you told yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," but tomorrow never came. Then the deadline arrived, and the result wasn't what you hoped for, leaving you frustrated and full of regret. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Procrastination has a way of sneaking into all of our lives. A few years ago, I had an important presentation at work. I knew it was a big deal and had weeks to prepare. But instead of starting early, I kept finding excuses. I told myself I worked better under pressure. As the deadline approached, panic set in. I rushed through it, the presentation flopped, and I felt embarrassed and defeated. That day, I promised myself, never again. And that's when I discovered the life-changing wisdom of Stoic philosophy. In this video, we'll uncover 7 powerful Stoic-inspired strategies to overcome procrastination for good. These techniques helped me turn things around, and they'll do the same for you. Imagine waking up with clarity, tackling your tasks with confidence, and ending each day with a sense of accomplishment. If you're ready to take control of your habits, stay tuned. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official, your go-to channel for mastering life with timeless wisdom. Let's get started. 1. Procrastination trap. Why we delay and what to do about it. Sometimes procrastination doesn't show up as laziness. It disguises itself in little excuses. "I'll do it later," "I need to be in the right mood," or "I'm waiting for inspiration." But deep down, we know the truth. We're avoiding the discomfort of starting. There's a story that hits close to home. My wife once had a dream of starting her own business. She spent weeks researching, planning, and organizing her ideas on paper. But every day, when it came time to take the first real step, she hesitated. "I'll do it tomorrow," she said, as she chose to clean the house or scroll through her phone instead. Day after day, the fear of failure held her back. One evening, she finally admitted, "I feel stuck. What if I try and it doesn't work?" Her words were heavy with doubt, and I could see how much this struggle was draining her. The longer she delayed, the more anxious she became, caught in a cycle of regret and frustration. The root of her procrastination wasn't laziness, it was fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown. These are emotions we all face when standing at the edge of something important. But here's where Stoic philosophy offers a way out. The Stoics teach us that procrastination stems from giving too much power to these fears. Marcus Aurelius once reflected that we should focus only on what is within our control. The fear of failure isn't real, it's just our mind predicting an outcome that hasn't even happened. So how do we break free? Start by identifying the real reason behind your delay. Are you afraid? Overwhelmed? Unsure where to begin? Once you name the fear, it loses its power. Next, take small, deliberate actions. When my wife realized her fear, she broke her overwhelming task into smaller steps. She designed a simple logo one day, wrote an email draft the next, and posted her first business announcement the day after that. Progress, no matter how small, built her confidence and momentum. The key is this: don't wait for the perfect moment, because it will never come. The perfect moment is the one you create by taking action. Accept that failure might happen, but know that it's part of growth. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Procrastination isn't just a habit, it's a choice. And every day, you have the power to choose differently. 2. Prioritize and eliminate. Procrastination thrives in chaos. When distractions fill your workspace and your mind, it becomes easy to avoid meaningful work. The Stoics taught us to focus on what is essential and let go of the non-essential. In a world full of distractions, the ability to prioritize is a superpower. Let's revisit the story of my wife and her dream of starting a business. After recognizing that fear was holding her back, she decided to spend a day analyzing her habits. It became clear that distractions were stealing her time and energy. Each time she sat down to work, her phone pinged with notifications, her emails piled up, and the clutter on her desk made it hard to focus. She often said, "I'll get started after I clean the kitchen," or "just one episode to relax, then I'll work." These small distractions added up, leaving her exhausted before she even began. The real problem wasn't the tasks themselves, it was that she hadn't created an environment to succeed. So, we applied a principle inspired by Stoic philosophy: focus on what truly matters. Together, We started by removing distractions. She turned off notifications, set her phone in another room, and cleaned her workspace to make it calm and organized. Then came the next step, prioritizing. We wrote down her goals and broke them into manageable tasks. Each morning, she tackled the most important task first, leaving less critical work for later. Over time, this approach built momentum and gave her a sense of accomplishment. The Stoics believed in keeping life simple. Seneca often wrote about the power of focusing only on what aligns with our purpose. By letting go of trivial distractions and prioritizing the essentials, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by distractions, start by identifying what's stealing your focus. Is it your phone, the internet, or even minor chores? Remove those distractions from your environment. Create a space that's designed for productivity, not procrastination. Next, list your tasks by importance. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I need to do today that will move me closer to my goals? Begin with that task. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right things. When my wife started prioritizing her work and eliminating distractions, she found clarity, focus, and peace of mind. You can too. Let go of what's unnecessary, and you'll uncover the freedom to do what truly matters. 3. Break it down, turning overwhelm into action. When faced with a big, daunting task, it's natural to feel paralyzed. The sheer size of the job makes it seem impossible to start, so you put it off. But the truth is, procrastination thrives on this feeling of overwhelm. The Stoics teach us that the way to move mountains is one small step at a time. Imagine you're tasked with writing a 50-page report for work. At first glance, the thought of writing so much can make you freeze. You think about how long it will take or how much effort it requires, and suddenly, doing anything else, laundry, reorganizing your desk, even scrolling social media, seems more appealing. This is where breaking it down becomes essential. Instead of focusing on the end goal, break the task into smaller, manageable pieces. Start with a single page or even just an outline. Commit to writing one section each day. By shifting your focus to these smaller steps, you build momentum, and the progress, however small, starts to motivate you. Each completed step adds confidence, and before you know it, the larger task no longer feels impossible. This approach is rooted in Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do what you can. Even the smallest things can lead to greatness." The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins, a completed paragraph, a productive 30-minute session, or even crossing one item off your to-do list. These victories reinforce your commitment and make the journey less intimidating. When tackling big tasks, here's a smart way to approach it. Break it down. Divide your work into smaller, actionable parts. Write a list and prioritize the steps in order of importance. Set a timer. Commit to just 10 or 15 minutes of focused work. Often, starting is the hardest part, and once you begin, you're likely to keep going. Reward progress. After completing each small step, give yourself a break or a small reward. These incentives keep you motivated. Overwhelm doesn't mean the task is impossible. It's a sign to slow down and take it piece by piece. Remember, even the most monumental tasks are simply a series of smaller actions strung together. The next time you face something that feels too big to handle, don't let it stop you. Break it down, start small, and celebrate every step forward. Progress, not perfection, is what truly matters. 4. Focus on your values. When life feels overwhelming or uncertain, it's easy to lose sight of what matters. The Stoics believe that clarity comes from grounding your actions in your core values, those unshakable principles that define what's truly important. When you know your values, decision-making becomes simpler, and procrastination loses its grip. Let's return to my wife's journey. As she wrestled with starting her business, it became clear that her hesitation wasn't just about fear of failure. She felt conflicted because she hadn't defined what she truly wanted. She was working hard on the surface, researching, brainstorming, organizing, but deep down she hadn't asked herself, why does this matter to me? One evening we sat down and I asked her, what do you value most in life? Is it security, freedom, creativity, or something else? What does this business mean to you? Her answer surprised both of us. She realized her dream wasn't just about making money. It was about creating something meaningful, leaving a legacy for our kids, and proving to herself that she could succeed on her own terms. That moment of clarity changed everything. She stopped seeing her business as a mountain to climb and started viewing it as an expression of her deepest values. Every task, no matter how small, now felt purposeful because it aligned with what she cared about most. Procrastination often stems from a lack of connection to our values. If you're avoiding a task or struggling to find motivation, ask yourself, what is truly important to me? Think about how the task connects to your purpose. If it doesn't, maybe it's time to reevaluate whether it's worth your time. To make this practical, try this exercise. Write down your top 3 values. For each task on your to-do list, ask, how does this align with my values? Prioritize tasks that resonate deeply with your purpose. When you act in alignment with your values, your work becomes more than just a checklist. It becomes a reflection of who you are. My wife found peace and determination by anchoring her business to her core values, and you can do the same. Remember, clarity leads to action. When you know why something matters, you'll find the strength to take that first step. Let your values guide you, and procrastination will lose its power. 5. Embrace imperfection. Perfection is an illusion that holds many of us back. The Stoics believed in striving for excellence, but accepted that true perfection is beyond our reach. Instead of chasing the unattainable, they taught us to focus on doing our best and taking meaningful steps forward. Progress, not perfection, is what truly matters. Think of a craftsman working on a new project. Every detail seems important, and they want the final product to be flawless. But this pursuit of perfection becomes their greatest obstacle. They overthink every step, start doubting their skills, and eventually delay finishing the work. Weeks later, the project sits untouched, and the dream of creating something valuable fades. The craftsman's story is universal. Fear of failure and a desire for perfection can trap anyone in a cycle of procrastination. The Stoics, however, offer a way out. They remind us that we're human, flawed, yet capable of growth. Progress, no matter how small, is a victory in itself. If you've ever felt stuck because you're waiting for the perfect moment, remember this: the perfect moment doesn't exist. What exists is the opportunity right in front of you. Take it, even if you don't feel fully ready. Focus on completing one task, even if it's not perfect. To make this practical, set realistic goals for yourself. Instead of aiming for perfection, aim to make progress. If you're writing a report, don't worry about every word being perfect on the first draft. Just start. Write freely, then improve it later. If you're learning a skill, don't expect mastery overnight. Practice, make mistakes, and learn from them. This mindset isn't about lowering your standards. It's about recognizing that growth comes from action, not hesitation. As you move forward, you'll gain confidence and experience, which will naturally bring you closer to excellence. When you embrace imperfection, you free yourself from the chains of fear. You realize that failure isn't the end. It's a step along the path to success. The Stoics understood that true peace comes from knowing you've done your best, even if the results aren't flawless. So take that step. Start today, even if it feels imperfect. Each step forward is a victory over procrastination and a move toward the life you want. Progress, after all, is the real measure of success. 6. Visualize success. Procrastination often feels like a wall we can't climb. But the truth is, that wall exists only in our minds. The Stoics believed in using the power of visualization to break through mental barriers. By imagining the process and success of completing a task, we prepare ourselves emotionally and mentally for action. Picture this: you've been avoiding a critical report at work. The task seems huge, and the fear of failure looms over you. Instead of focusing on the size of the task, close your eyes for a moment and imagine handing in a polished report on time. Visualize your manager's approval and the weight lifting from your shoulders as you finish. Imagine how good it feels to check it off your list, knowing you've done your best. This simple act of imagining success builds confidence and transforms your mindset. Suddenly, the task doesn't feel as intimidating. It feels achievable. Visualization shifts your focus from fear of failure to the benefits of completion. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, practiced premeditatio malorum, or anticipating challenges. They imagined potential outcomes, not to dwell on fear, but to prepare their minds for the path ahead. By visualizing both the obstacles and the victories, they cultivated a sense of control and readiness. If you find yourself stuck in procrastination, try this. Close your eyes and imagine completing the task. Focus on the details. What does success look and feel like? Break the task into steps, visualizing yourself tackling one step at a time. Concentrate on the positive results. Will it bring relief, pride, or a sense of accomplishment? Hold on to that feeling. This practice isn't about daydreaming. It's about priming your mind to act. When you visualize success, you quiet the doubts and fears that keep you from starting. You remind yourself that the effort is worth it and that the rewards outweigh the discomfort of beginning. The mind is a powerful tool. Use it to envision success and motivate action. When you see yourself succeeding, you create the momentum to take that first step. Procrastination thrives on fear, but visualization replaces that fear with confidence and clarity. You already have the strength to overcome. Sometimes, you just need to see it first. 7. Practice patience and persistence. Overcoming procrastination is not an overnight transformation. It's a journey, one that demands patience, persistence, and self-compassion. Developing new habits and breaking old patterns takes time, and setbacks are part of the process. What matters is how you respond when things don't go as planned. Think about this. You've committed to tackling a major project and make good progress for a few days. Then, life happens. Unexpected responsibilities, low energy, or even a simple lack of motivation. Suddenly, you find yourself slipping back into procrastination. It's tempting to feel frustrated, even defeated. You might think, what's the point? I'll never change. But this mindset is where many people falter. The Stoics taught that progress is a series of small victories, not one grand leap. Every step forward matters, and even setbacks offer valuable lessons. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I approach it differently next time? To stay on track, remember these key points. Be patient with yourself. Change is slow, but persistence pays off. The effort you put in today builds the foundation for future success. Celebrate progress. Every small accomplishment, whether it's starting a task or completing a step, is a reason to acknowledge your growth. Keep moving forward. Even after a mistake, recommit to your goals. The only true failure is giving up. A practical way to implement this is to keep a progress journal. Each day, write down one thing you achieved, no matter how small. Did you write an email you'd been avoiding? Organize part of a project? Reflect on those wins and let them remind you that every effort counts. Patience and persistence also mean accepting that you're human. Perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. By focusing on consistent effort rather than flawless execution, you'll build habits that stick over time. The Stoics believed in taking life one day at a time. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Don't let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which arm you against the present." Trust that the small steps you take today will prepare you for tomorrow. The lesson is simple. Don't let setbacks define your journey. Learn, adjust, and keep going. Over time, the practice of persistence will transform procrastination into progress. 8. The importance of habits and routine. Excellence is not a single act, it's the product of what we do consistently. As Aristotle wisely noted, we are what we repeatedly do. The Stoics echoed this belief, emphasizing the power of habits and routines to shape not only our actions, but also our character. When you start each day with intention and structure, you create a foundation that reduces procrastination and builds focus. Imagine waking up without a plan. You reach for your phone, scroll aimlessly, and let the morning slip away. By the time you think about your tasks, distractions have already crept in, and procrastination takes hold. Compare that to starting the day with a clear routine. You know what needs to be done, and you approach each task with purpose. The difference is like night and day. A well-structured routine creates momentum. It eliminates decision fatigue by giving your day a predictable rhythm. When you wake up and immediately follow a set pattern, whether it's journaling, exercising, or diving into your most important work, you bypass the hesitation that fuels procrastination. To build habits that stick, start small. Choose 1 or 2 activities that align with your values and goals. For example, spend 10 minutes in the morning writing down your priorities for the day. Dedicate your first work hour to deep, focused tasks before checking emails or social media. The key is consistency. Over time, these small actions will become second nature, creating a routine that supports productivity and peace of mind. The Stoics believed that discipline is the bridge between goals and results. Marcus Aurelius himself adhered to a strict morning ritual. He would remind himself of the challenges he might face and prepare his mind for the day ahead. This practice wasn't just about productivity, it was about maintaining inner calm and control over his emotions. If you're struggling to stay consistent, remember this: habits don't form overnight. It takes time to build routines, and setbacks are normal. The important thing is to keep going. Reflect on what's working and adjust as needed. A strong routine doesn't just keep you on track. It provides clarity, reduces overwhelm, and creates space for what truly matters. Start your day with purpose, and you'll find that procrastination has no room to grow. Small steps, done repeatedly, lead to lasting success. Procrastination is a challenge we all face, but it's also an opportunity, a chance to strengthen our character and take control of our lives. The Stoic lessons we've explored today remind us that progress comes not from perfection, but from consistent effort. By breaking down daunting tasks, focusing on your values, visualizing success, and embracing the power of habits and routines, you can transform how you approach your goals. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight. Overcoming procrastination is a practice, not a one-time fix. Like any skill, it requires patience and persistence. Some days will be easier than others, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward. Take these lessons and make them your own. Start small, build a routine, reflect on your values, and let them guide your actions. Visualize the success you want to achieve and celebrate each small victory along the way. These daily practices are your tools for creating a life of purpose and clarity. Now, it's time to take the first step. What task have you been putting off? Write it down. Break it into smaller steps. Then, start. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just begin. If you found these lessons helpful, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe to Stoic Narratives Official for more timeless wisdom to transform your life. And don't keep this journey to yourself. Share your story in the comments below. What strategies have worked for you? What challenges are you facing? Your experiences could inspire someone else. Together, let's turn procrastination into progress, one small step at a time. You have the power to take control of your actions and create a life aligned with your values. Start today and watch how far you can go.